Hello everyone, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I finally put this guitar together. It's a 50s body with a 64 neck, and I bought the body just a few weeks back from someone who told me that it was a 57 hardtail body that had been refinished. And he had the original parts to go along with it, the neck plate and some 57 pots, and I really had no reason not to believe him, so I trusted him and I ended up buying it. And I thought it would be cool to make a video trying to locate the body date, which would be inside of one of the cavities in here. And so I filmed an entire video and came to find out the body date was not 57. But anyways, I'll go ahead and show you guys what we found and the method that I used for trying to reveal the body date on a refinished Stratocaster guitar. And then also some tips to authenticate a 50s body that might have been refinished or modified. And this really goes hand in hand for Telecasters, Stratocasters, Jazzmasters, and so on. A lot of these features are, pretty much the same. You're looking at the same kind of details inside of the cavities and whatnot. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys. And if you enjoy it, please like, comment, subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into it, all right? So the first thing that you would want to look for on a vintage body are these dowels that are located in the body, certain areas. They would have been placed there so that the guitar could be worked on one of the machines to cut the body. And a lot of them on this guitar are not so visible to see, but there's one up here in the horn. You can see where it's kind of raised up. So some other details to look for inside the cavities: you have a circular router mark. Whatever machine they use to cut out the routes, it would end up putting this circular router mark, and you can see them here in the cavities, and then one down here as well. Then you have what they call worm route, which is right here in the bridge pickup cavity, and this was placed so that the lead wires from all the pickups would more easily lay down in this area. And just trying to get everything to fit in here right, it's kind of a primitive way of doing this. Another thing you might look at is the body shape on these guitars. So especially in the 50s, the bodies had this really deep belly cut. You can see it goes way up into the horn up here and down this way as well. So that's a telltale sign. And then, looking at it from a side angle, you can see how thin the body gets right here where the belly cut meets the front of the body. So it's super thin. And a lot of the times you'll find the arm rest over here gets super thin. My 59 is a lot thinner than this one is actually. So the method that I'm going to use today is I'm just going to take a little bit of sandpaper. I'm going to start with some 400 grit and work in this middle pickup cavity and see if we can find the body date. I was told this is a 57 body. Some of the other parts that I got are 57. This hardtail bridge right here definitely looks 50, so hopefully we will find out. So we're going to take a little bit of sandpaper here, and I'm going to use a bit of water, which hopefully you guys don't freak out, but just a little bit to kind of make this a little bit easier. For me, it's best to do this by hand. I've done this on a couple guitars already, and for me it works best when I can actually kind of feel how much material I'm taking off. And I'm just starting in the center here. I'm actually going to move the camera a little bit closer so maybe you guys can see this as it happens. All right, so now you guys have a bird's eye view of the cavity right here. Just very slow going because you don't want to take too much material off. You might end up rubbing away the handwritten date. So some of you might think I'm crazy for doing this, and I don't know, sometimes I think so as well, but it's just a hobby for me. I enjoy the history of these guitars more than anything else, so I have fun with it. Hopefully you guys see it that way as well. We've got through that layer of gray primer, and there's some kind of almost metallic looking primer underneath that. Here we go. Maybe you guys can see a little bit better. It's always very quickly that you seem to get to that final layer where the paint is. So you can see where I've just gone through, and I can tell you right now, pencil mark in there. And I'm about to find the body date. Oh yeah, I also did this on my Mary Kay guitar, which it's funny, some people disputed that it was legit, that I wrote it there myself, but it's actually under the original finish, so it's pretty much undisputable. Definitely a 5. So the month will be on this side. There's a dash in the middle. I'm assuming that's a 7. We'll find out here in just a minute. To my surprise, I think this is actually a 58 body. Shockingly. This is definitely an original Stratocaster body from the 50s, but it's a little bit later than I thought. So, check it out. 158 is what it looks like to me. So this is actually about 2 months earlier than my Mary Kay guitar. I was convinced it was a 57 body, but it's all the same really. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's how you uncover the body date on an old Fender guitar. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to be able to do this yourself. It is quite fun, I will say. It's like finding buried treasure. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna finish cleaning this thing up and putting it together, so peace.